Hey guys, how's it going? I'll give a shout out to everyone at ECF. If those of you have no idea what that is, go check it out. It's ecigaretteforum.com. Great resource. Today, going to do a mini review of an electronic cigarette that has probably been around, or at least there's been references to it online for a couple years, since 2007. But as far as I know, not too many people have actually seen, for whatever reason. And that is the Greencig or Greencig G300 in this case. There's also a G220, which is identical, except for the battery length, and it is a two-piece integrated, I won't say cartomizer, integrated atomizer within the cartridge versus the more traditional three pieces, which is a really cool idea. Except for, personally, I'm not too happy with the KR808D1s and their clones, or the E-puffer, because, you know, real short, because they can burn. And this is the inside of the cartridge that from a Vapor King clone that I had smoked less than 50 puffs. So, you know, that's a different discussion, but we'll leave it at they're a little bit questionable, but the two-piece cartridge idea is really, yeah, it's pretty neat. It's convenient. Grab the cartridge, throw it on, don't worry about atomizers dying, and, you know, it's just convenient. So, I got a little excited over the G300 because I really like the idea of the two-piece setups, just not really what exists today, and got a little care package or bonus on an order I had placed to Drew at nhaler.com. Yeah, I gotta give him a quick shout out too. Drew's a you know, real nice guy. I've had a couple chats with him and email exchange. Yeah, he seems he's a relatively new supplier, but is trying to bring us some, you know, cool and in some cases unique products. So Drew had actually sent me a single Greencig two-piece cartridge, and they do screw on to both the E9 and the KR808D1 or Vapor King batteries, and I actually wound up ripping it apart and finding out that it was constructed entirely differently. We'll come back to that, but basically it is a typical three-piece cartridge setup with polyfill, and has a coil much like one of the regular atomizers on other more traditional or more common e-cigarettes. And in short, I wasn't able to get it to burn, so I figured let me give it a try. Having said that, let's move on. The G300, the difference is a shorter battery than the G220, and it has a PCC. The packaging on this guy is really pretty nice. It's not quite the same as everyone else's. You open it up and, you know, there's the instructions, and we have the PCC, pair of the cartridges, and the batteries. I'm going to go ahead and pull this stuff out. I did pre-charge everything. I'm going to go real briefly over some of this. I really like this PCC. It's mini USB charger. Unlike the Titan or the 510 PCC, which kind of has this spring-loaded flap on it, you know, and it does feel like it's probably going to break at some point. The Greencig has a little magnetic latch, and that's just really neat. It opens pretty easily. It holds a single battery and 3 cartridges, which normally wouldn't be enough, but on a two-piece unit, each one of these has the atomizer built into it. I do wish it would hold another battery. Yeah, but other than that, it's not bad. Unfortunately, the PCC for the Greencig or Greencig only exists for the G300, which has a short battery. However, a KR or I didn't check the E9, but the KR batteries or Vapor King batteries will screw into this. I need to see if I can find a short battery that'll work. So the cartridges are kind of on the expensive side, but again are packaged really nicely. Come in a 10-pack, and it's sealed. On the back tells you the flavor and the nicotine level. I've got one that's open already, and it has a little instruction manual, and I pulled one card out already. Before we go further, just want to mention, any of these things that I'm reviewing, I am paying out of my pocket, no discount. So it's pretty much, I want to make sure that I can make a real objective review on any of the e-smoke reviews I do wind up doing. The only thing I really don't like, besides the pricing on these, is through Drew, which I believe is probably the cheapest place to get them, is $30 for 10 of them. So it is not inexpensive. Depending on where you buy your KR or Vapor King cartridges, that's actually comparable, but it still works out. I haven't gone through a number of these yet, so as far as how long they last, but they are a bit on the expensive side. The only thing I don't like is the carts themselves. While the whole box is sealed up, they do not come with seals on the ends, which obviously the Vapor Kings do, and they'll go right on. So a little bit of concern there. It seems like their high from these guys, according to their little documentation sheet, is their high is actually 15 milligram. So but we will see. I'm going to go ahead and grab a random fresh one and put it together, and by comparison, I'm looking for a Vapor King at the moment. Actually, we can throw one together real quick. Alright, so this is just fresh out of the cartridge rubbers. By comparison, here's the size difference. And you will notice that if we look at the atomizer and cartridge size, the big difference, right? So, having said that, let's check this out. Brand new cart. Well, so here's the thing I don't like, and it's hard to tell on this, but there is a battery cutoff of about 3 seconds, and this is not a red LED, it's yellow or light green. And if you kind of take a double hit, it's okay. But unfortunately, these battery cutoffs give you a pretty misleading representation of the cartridges. They do screw on to a Vapor King cart, however. And if we take a look at that instead, that's very nice. That's a lot better, even with the 15 milligram. You can't screw the cart all the way down because there aren't holes in the cart. I mean, you can, but it turns into a milkshake. If you loosen it just a little bit. You actually have adjustable draw, which is kind of cool. You actually start to get a decent throat hit and some pretty good vapor. Running out of time on this, I am going to do a part 2 immediately, so can do some comparisons and talk a little bit more about the G220. It's actually not a it's not a bad unit, but there's room for improvement, and I think there's a couple ways we might be able to get it to be a pretty decent little e-cig. So to be continued shortly.